to make his first defense of the title, facing undefeated #1 contender Brandon Rios out of Oxnard, California. The moment he's been visualizing since he first put on a pair of gloves at the age of 8. Tough, hard-nosed, confident Brandon Rios, the challenger and the favorite by almost 2-1. 2 huge wins and a breakthrough 2010 career best over Anthony Peterson right here in this spring. And that said, Al, a self-admitted loose cannon who's been in and out of jail, who's behaved immaturely at times, but a guy who's trying to turn it around, trying to change.
One of the things he wants to prove tonight is he has the maturity as well as the ability to win this championship. As recently as when he was working with Antonio Margarito for Margarito's fight with Manny Pacquiao, he got into a public snit when he looked like he was criticizing Freddie Roach because of Roach's Alzheimer's disease. He got a lot of negative feedback. He said, hey, I'm working on doing better, or it's Parkinson's, excuse me. And he said, you know, I'm working on better, being better and doing a better job in public.
Rios showing maturity in the ring versus Peterson, who hit him low repeatedly. And he just kept on fighting, didn't complain. 230 amateur wins, a national champ off a spectacular knockout under Pacquiao Margarito. Al, your keys to victory for Brandon Rios.
For Rios, sometimes he just follows his opponent, and tonight he has to cut off the ring better because he's in against a master boxer. Rios is such an attacker that sometimes he just ignores defense, and that could get him knocked out tonight. Now, Acosta can be hit with a left hook, and Rios says a good one. He's got to throw it tonight.
Well, some call him a real throwback. No doubt he's a street fighter who knows this is his biggest opportunity. Bam, bam, Brandon Rios. It has always been a dream to fight in Las Vegas for reserved family man Miguel Acosta, who almost quit the sport early in his career after 3 straight losses. His father told him, keep going, son. Someday you'll be a world champion. Dad was right. Acosta hasn't lost since 2003. 19 straight wins, spoiling 3 unbeaten records en route to the title. Al, he's not well known to American fight fans, but he intends to change all that tonight.
You know, to some boxing insiders, it's mystifying that he's the underdog in this fight. He said that motivates him. He's always been an underdog in major fights, and he said it's no different tonight. I'll come out with the win.
Hasn't hurt him in the past. He burst onto the scene with a stunning upset of Urbano Antillon. Then he beat Paulus Moses for the belt, both knockouts on enemy turf. Can he do it again in the biggest fight of his career? Al, the keys to victory for Miguel Acosta.
Well, Acosta is by nature a boxer, and he doesn't want to stand in front of Rios, that's for sure. He's got to have some movement in this fight. And he's got a good left hook, Acosta, but you do not want to trade left hooks with Rios. That's his calling card. He knocked Urbano Antillon out with an uppercut. It's a huge weapon for him.
So can Miguel Acosta keep the title and his win streak alive, or will Brandon Rios vault into the spotlight and fulfill his dream of championship glory? Al, let's check the numbers as we go to the tail of the tape.
Acosta wants to be the boxer in this fight. Now, one of the interesting things at age 32, don't be deceived by that. He's not an old 32 by any stretch. He's a young 32, Acosta. He wants to stay on the outside and use that slight reach advantage that he has. Rios wants to get inside.
Acosta said he feels like he's 20, just like Al Bernstein. Ready now for Miguel Acosta versus Brandon Rios for the WBA Lightweight Championship. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pearl Theater here at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, as it's time for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Top Rank Incorporated in association with Tecate, Cerveza con Carácter, and Showtime. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association, President Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor George Martinez, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Bill Brady. Commissioners Francisco Aguilar, Skip Avancino, TJ Day, and Pat Lundvall, with the executive director Keith Kaiser. Our physicians at ringside, Doctors Al Capana, Stephen Brown, Jay Coates, and Damon Savala, with our timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, Ernie Jauregui and Toby Murray. Introducing to you our three judges, scoring from ringside, all from the state of Nevada: Adelaide Bird, Dick Houck, and CJ Ross. With our third man of the ring, our referee in charge, fair but firm, Joe Cortez. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with multicolor, multinational trim, fighting out of Oxnard, California. He weighed in at 134.5 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring, with a record of 26 wins, no losses, and 1 draw, with 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Currently ranked the WBA #1 world lightweight contender. Tonight making his first attempt at a world title, here is the hard-hitting and undefeated Brandon Bam Bam Rios. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with black trim, hailing from and representing Caracas, Venezuela. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 134.5 pounds, with a record of 28 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. He has 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he is making the first defense of his title and seeking his 20th straight victory. Please welcome the defending WBA lightweight champion of the world, introducing Miguel Acosta. And once again, here's our referee in charge now to give instructions, Joe Cortez.
Acosta. Okay, caballeros, ya vi la regla de los dos en el camerino. I gave you both the instructions in the dressing room. Espero una pelea limpia. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all time. Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch him up. That's what the hell is over.
Intriguing matchup, contrasting styles. Biggest test for both fighters. Red hot Miguel Acosta looking to hold on to the belt in quest of his 20th straight win. The crowd favorite, undefeated Brandon Rios, on the doorstep of stardom. They fight for the WBA Lightweight Championship. The rangy, somewhat awkward, unorthodox Acosta wearing the white with the black trim. The dangerous, physically strong Rios in the mostly black trunks. Acosta, a crafty, athletic fighter who moves so well. Great blend of speed, defense, and the ability to adapt with game-changing power. And Rios, a gritty, straight-ahead, ultra-pressure, high-energy bruiser fueled by emotion. Good right hand there by Acosta. That was a pull down. Rios, a stalker whose pressure usually builds. He's not a particularly fast starter. 4 first-round knockouts for Rios. Acosta has 5, including his last fight, a non-title bout, but a resounding one-punch knockout nonetheless.
You know, this ring is very, very big. And that is good from Miguel Acosta. And there's that straight right hand again. Steve, you said it at our fighter meetings. Acosta may move a lot when he punches, but he throws with power, even going backward.
He moves and throws so well. Not all, right hand there by Acosta. Not always easy from a leverage standpoint, but he's very effective with that style. Tonight, Acosta plans to take Rios to the later rounds, break him down, thus his nickname Agua Cerrito, which means a slow rain. The thing is, Rios usually gets stronger as the fight goes on.
There is some redness underneath the right eye already of Rios from those right hands. I think Brandon Rios already is surprised at the hand speed and accuracy of Acosta. Now, it takes a lot to discourage Brandon Rios, and there's that nice right from Rios. So he'll keep coming.
Acosta, who's 8 years older than Rios, with lightning hand speed. Rios can attack in relentless fashion. We've seen some monstrous assaults, but tonight his biggest step up in opposition. Can he pull that off against a guy the caliber of Acosta?
And that's what makes this fight so intriguing, and it's already been a really interesting first round. Rios. And this is what you're going to get in this fight. Lots of punches, but lots of movement. Good right by Rios, too.
And Rios will try to bait Acosta into a punch fest, a street fight. Acosta wants none of that. He's keeping his distance. The thing is, can he maintain that jab against a pressure guy like Rios? Miguel Acosta in the white trunks, 28-3-2, 22 knockouts, but 2 of his 3 losses by knockout. Rios 26-0-1, 18 KOs, his lone blemish, a majority draw, which he avenged by TKO. He's won 8 straight since, 7 of those by KO. Final seconds of round 1. Joe Cortez, the 3rd man of the ring. The bell for round 1, our interpreter tonight is Felix de Jesus, the one and only.
Are you okay? Everything is good in this round. Well, that was hard to take out. Okay, just breathe nice and deep and keep your head up. And don't move your head. Side to side. Yep.
There was a signature punch in round 1 for Acosta. It was the right hand. He landed it several times. And here we take a look at one of the ones he got in. An overhand right over the left hand of Rios. You can see how quickly Acosta punches with that. Sometimes he'll use that lead right hand.
He's got a great right hand that comes out of nowhere sometimes. Ask a journeyman by the name of Armando Cordoba, who was on the receiving end of a resounding right hand that ended their fight in the first round.
You were very impressed with that punch.
Oh.
And you know, one of the things that there's a hook from the champion, but you know, he doesn't want to throw too many of those left hooks because Brandon Rios has a terrific left hook, and you don't want to get in a trading match with Rios.
And Rios, who throws a lot of punches, likes to use that left hook to the body, and that's especially good against a mover like Acosta.
Great uppercut by Rios. Both of these men have terrific uppercuts. They both can throw that punch, and Rios landed his.
That's how Acosta ended the night for Hermano Antillon, who's in attendance tonight. A 9th round KO over Antillon. We'll be fighting Humberto Soto in a rematch coming up May 7th. And here's Rios trying to smother Acosta. Acosta wisely ties him up. Acosta can do so many things, terrific skills. Equally adept coming forward, going backwards, or using the whole ring. Excellent footwork, and as Al pointed out, the blazing hand speed. He lures you into traps, too. When he gets into the corner with his back on the ropes, that could be dangerous for his opponent.
He is landing that right hand a lot. Now, the question is going to be how well will Rios stand up to those shots as the fight goes on? Rios is not doing a great job of cutting off the ring so far, even though occasionally he's getting Acosta against the ropes.
So far, this is truly looking like the biggest step up ever for Brandon Rios. It's early.
Yeah, it is, and Rios has great power, and he has dogged determination. But early on, Acosta has to be happy about the way this fight has gone.
And as you can see, Rios has no reverse gear.
No, no.
It's not part of the mechanism. It's always in drive.
And I'll tell you, the size of this ring, it really is helping Miguel Acosta, because he loves to be able to use all his movement.
There's that uppercut, Al, that you pointed out we would see from one of these guys, and this time it was Acosta. Rios, as you said, has a good one, too. There's the uppercut again by Acosta.
This is a very well-fought fight. Both men doing a really good job of trying to use their styles.
Right, they're staying within themselves and trying to get the job done the right way. As we head for the bell. And interesting spectator, the aforementioned Urbano Antion, who suffered his first loss versus Acosta back in '09, and fighting WBC lightweight champ Humberto Soto in a rematch, Al, of a Fight of the Year candidate.
That'll be on the undercard of Pacquiao Mosley on Showtime pay-per-view, and it was a thrilling fight. I mean, that's as good a fight as you can get, and this man is a true warrior. And we'll see it on May 7th when he fights on the undercard of Pacquiao Mosley.
Man, he's glued to it.
Yeah, he's intense on this fight, isn't he?
Let's 3 points combination, okay? Okay?
Round 3 scheduled for 12. Rios said he doesn't feel this will go the distance, but he's ready for it if it does. Acosta's trainer, you heard from him earlier, Manny Siaka, confident that Acosta will win by KO.
Siaka himself, a former world champion from Puerto Rico, filling in for Mervyn Ramos, the trainer of Acosta.
Yeah, Siaka's trained 29 world champions, including the great Wilfredo Vasquez.
Yeah, he knows boxing, that's for sure.
Acosta's father, Oscar, trains Miguel in the gym, then Siaka takes over for the fight. There's Acosta using the entire ring again, and as Al said, it is a big one. Aggressive, ferocious Brandon Rios, always on the attack, missing with a left hook there. Acosta missing with a right hand.
These are real, I'll tell you, they're just over us, and they are throwing every punch, especially Rios, with the intention of creating a knockout. And the big problem for Acosta is sometimes when he throws that uppercut from long range, he can be countered by a big left hook by Rios.
Yeah, and Rios' punches, Al, are very sharp, very crisp. Yep. He's got debilitating power in both hands. You don't want to trade with this guy, and Acosta knows that. That's why he holds on.
Round 3, a better round so far for Rios. He's taken punches, but he's also been able to deliver more of his big shots.
There's a good right hand by Acosta, followed by a left.
That's great action right there.
Rios has to find a way to stop Acosta's mobility. That is a big key here tonight. And he's going to the body. That's one way.
Yep. And he wanted to do that very early in the fight.
Yeah, he wants to slow Acosta down, and that's the way to do it. Go to the body. Boy, he just throws a lot of punches. Rios very busy, high work rate. Acosta being cautioned by Joe Cortez about the punches below the belt.
So far, Brandon Rios has been able to take those big right hands from Acosta. Now, he's been hit with a bunch, but he has not been hurt. And Acosta doing well in the last part of round 3, after Rios was very effective in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, he seems a lot more with it, a lot more confident now after the first 2 rounds, where Acosta seemed to have the upper hand. Rios just continues to march forward. pressuring Acosta, but Acosta is dangerous in that position. Watch out for that uppercut. Oh, beautiful combination by Acosta. He digs in. That was a huge right hand by Acosta. And Rios just smiles back. That's how tough this kid is.
But he's going backwards, and that's a key point. Wow, what a round.
Okay, don't get too excited, Brandon. You're doing a fucking perfect round. Staying on him, covering up, moving your head, throwing 2 or 3 punch combinations. When you're trying to, you got too confident, and he lands some punch at the end. Don't fucking do that, all right? Fucking be safe, be smarter, man. You're smarter than that, all right? He's the world champion. So he's not that. He's not gonna be easy, all right? He's smart. He's got tricks, okay? Let's fight smart, hands up. Let's keep doing what you were doing.
Miguel Acosta early on was able to get that right hand in. That was kind of foreshadowing, and there's the big left hook. And then Acosta trying to work downstairs and would get a warning for this low blow. Yeah, that was just a smidge south of the border, more than a smidge. And then later in the round, after Rios had done well in the beginning part of that round, this is the sequence in which I think Acosta really hurt Rios. That right hand did some damage, and Rios would go back, smile, but I think that could be a seminal moment in this fight.
Yeah, Acosta may have taken round 3 on the strength of the final 15 seconds with that great flurry in his own corner.
In the fight against Anthony Peterson, that Rios, his breakout fight, Peterson boxed early, but then started standing in front of Rios. Acosta still hasn't done that, and that was when Peterson got in big trouble.
Yeah, he nailed him with a huge counter left hook in round 5, and then Peterson disqualified with the excessive low blows.
The power punches in the last round, that's pretty amazing for the number of power punches landed by 2 fighters. That's a lot of power punches. And right now, Acosta pushing Rios back, and as you pointed out, Steve, that's not a gear Rios likes to go in. He's been hurt with these power punches by Acosta.
Very rare to see Rios go backward, and now he's being bounced around by these punches by Acosta. Big right hand there by Acosta from way outside. And another right hand, but that one a glancing blow. Rios had better be very careful here.
And when you're not a fighter who's used to boxing and staying at distance and trying to buy time, it's very hard to do it.
Acosta has power. Here's a left hook off the top of the head by Acosta. And now it looks like Acosta is taking a page from Brandon Rios's book, putting on the pressure and firing shots left and right.
And how smart a fighter is Acosta? He's mixing it up to the body and the head.
Well, we said earlier, he has a great ability to adapt, to adjust. He's almost like a chameleon in a way.
This lightweight division is filled with talent. Acosta might be one of the least known of the group, but I'll tell you, he's one of the best.
Well, it's his first fight in Vegas, only his second fight in the United States. His first one was a big win over Angie Zajaho, also undefeated outside of Chicago. And he just has no fear, just like Rios.
Now, Rios had him against the ropes there. Couldn't do a lot of damage offensively, though.
Left hook there by Acosta. It's all Acosta here in round 4. Rios slips. He got on top of the Acosta foot and went down, so that's not a knockdown.
Brandon Rios, who we mentioned, has had some troubles outside the ring. His wife, Vicky, recently, and Robert Garcia have helped guide his path. Now he's facing some troubles inside the ring where he is in deep water against Miguel Acosta.
And remember, he's never tasted defeat. He's 26-0-1 with 18 KOs. Now Rios digs to the body.
Yeah, those were good. He liked the body shots he threw earlier.
Rios continues to come forth, but Acosta has the answers. There's a right hand by Acosta. Wow. Miguel Acosta.
Okay. Breathe in a little deeper. Just put some water behind his head. Okay, Okay, just keep going the way you were. How are you feeling?
The hand speed of Acosta is really astonishing. And you see all these combinations. 7 punches delivered in a very short period of time. Not all landed, but at least half of them did. And it's a variety of punches. Acosta throws every punch well.
And Al, as Rios is finding out, Acosta does not have an easy style to deal with.
No.
He's awkward, he's cagey, lots of guile, and obviously very mobile. You just have to keep your guard up at all times because of that speed.
When was the last time you saw a pure boxer, which is what Acosta is, punch with this kind of power? That's a double threat that's hard to beat.
Very versatile.
And now for Rios at this moment, here we are in round 5. What does he have to do to try and get back into this fight? He's got to still get inside, he's got to still rip the body, and he's got to get that left hook going. He's not been able to land that punch. Right in there, see, he's got to rip left hooks.
The thing Rios also has going for him, he's got a very solid chin. He can take a punch, and we're seeing that here.
Yeah.
He's also physically and mentally tough. And that may say a lot here in the end.
He's going to need that tonight.
Yep.
Well, I have the fight scored 40-36. Steve Kim, of course, from Max Boxing, Rick Rito from Boxing Scene, and Ellie Sekbeck also scoring the fight. And I got to say, I've got it a shutout for Acosta.
So what do they have in a majority decision at this stage? Round 5, scheduled for 12. Acosta back to work. Now here comes Rios trying to counter.
Good right hand by Rios and a pretty good left hook. And we're going to find out as this fight goes on whether Acosta can handle the power of Rios if he gets him.
And he does have power.
Yep.
18 of his 26 wins by KO. And he has a very good arsenal.
Well, as you know, for the first part of this fight, as Groucho Marx said in one of his famous movies, this isn't how I imagined an ocean voyage. This is not how Rios imagined this going. But he is hanging in there, and you can tell he has resolve to try and change things.
That may be the first Groucho Marx reference I've ever heard during a fight.
Okay.
And it's great. Keep it coming.
I did that for you, Steve.
Thank you.
And this is an action fight. These guys are wailing away against each other.
Again, this is where Acosta can be dangerous with his back to the turnbuckle. You may say that's not a good place to be for most fighters. You don't want to be hemmed in the corner, but it doesn't seem to matter to Acosta. In fact, that's where he wants it.
Does very good work from that position.
That's how he knocked out Urbano Antion. Final seconds of the 5th round. Good action here. Well, inside NASCAR, the fastest half hour on television is back with season 2 on Showtime. Check out new episodes every Wednesday at 9 p.m. and an encore presentation following Boxing Tonight.
Yeah, and the royalty of NASCAR is Richard Petty, and his son Kyle Petty will be joining the show this season, and that's going to be a lot of fun. We see here Rios attacking as he has been, but that time he finally got the left hook in, and that's a punch he's been looking for during the course of this fight. Acosta, though, from that position on the ropes, as Steve pointed out, very effective, landing the hook and the right hand and pushing Rios off him. A little bit better round, though, for Brandon Rios.
Rios getting last-second instructions from former champ Robert Garcia, fresh off the victory guiding Nonito Donaire in an electrifying win over Fernando Montiel.
Yeah, Robert, one of the fine trainers in boxing. His brother Mike, one of his charges, and Donaire, of course, and Rios has got a good stable of fighters. Nice uppercut on the inside by Rios. If he can get that inside position and rip punches, he can turn this fight around, but he's got to get there.
And there, precise, accurate cut punches by Miguel Acosta.
Unless, of course, Acosta does it better like he did there. Wow, this is great action.
These guys are just coming from all angles now. Oh, out of nowhere, down goes Acosta. Unbelievable. Miguel Acosta down for the third time in his career. And he's got a cut under the right eye. And he looks stunned. He's rocked. What a turn of events here. Round number 6.
The power of Rios, and this is where Acosta will try and use this big ring if he can.
And a minute 48 left.
A lot of time.
What a turnaround. And now Acosta being very cautious, trying to keep his distance. He has felt the wrath, the power of Brandon Rios. Just when it looked like Acosta had the upper hand, Rios out of nowhere shocks everybody here.
Acosta punching back, and he's going to need to do that. He can't be reckless, but he'll have to punch back to keep Rios off him. And he's doing it.
Still a minute 18.
Wow, this has the makings of a fight, doesn't it?
Whoa.
Oh, the jab of Acosta. Brandon Rios doing everything to get inside, but getting met with a lot of punches.
That jab is now Miguel Acosta's best friend. And now maybe Acosta coming back. He got his wind back.
Smart veteran job there holding.
Rios looking to jump all over Acosta. He's got him in the corner, but again, Acosta usually effective from that area. Now extricates himself, gets back to more space. Now he gets back to the other corner right above us. Oh, Rios with a heavy right hand upstairs. That backs Acosta up. Rios, right hand, left hand, everything. Full of confidence, a left hand to the jaw by Rios. Acosta sliding to his left. Acosta with a right hand. 10 seconds left of the second. An uppercut by Acosta. And now Acosta suddenly coming back in subtle fashion. Whoa, what a round. Brandon Rios putting Acosta on the canvas.
What happened for not using the strategy? This is what happens.
We said that if Rios could get that left hook going. Now there's a left hook to the body, and then comes with the left hook to the head. Lands on the neck, actually. Then I think there's the jab. Interestingly, a jab sent him down. Wow. You know, it was so fast when it happened, you couldn't see. That's astonishing. Here, we'll take a look again. Now, it's kind of a half jab, half left hook. Short punch by Brandon Rios. Wow.
Not a major surprise because he stunned Anthony Peterson with that jab, too. But this doing more damage. He actually put Acosta down.
The only advantage he has is the power. You got to tie him up.
We're at the halfway mark of this interesting WBA lightweight championship. Acosta trying to shake the cobwebs. Got a cut under the right eye. Hopefully it won't develop into a swell. Here we go, round 7.
And you know, you talked about the fact that Acosta is very good usually when he gets against the ropes. But when you're facing a pressure fighter like Rios, you've got to be careful how much you do that.
That's a great point. You know, I'm sure they worked on that in training camp, bringing in people to emulate Brandon Rios with Acosta's style. Take a look quickly at press row scoring.
Yes, it's tightening up. I have it 58-56, but you can see that it's 57-56 on 2 scorecards, and interestingly, 58-55 for Rios on another, which is a little bit surprising.
Of course, that is unofficial.
Yes.
So right now, split decision to Acosta on the press row scoring after 6. Minute gone by in the 7th, scheduled for 12. WBA lightweight championship on the line. Acosta in the white trunks, his first defense. All the way from Venezuela. Oxnard's Brandon Rios, born in Lubbock, Texas, came to Kansas at the age of 2, moved to Oxnard at 18.
I mentioned the public issue he had when he criticized Freddie Roach from the Margarito camp. I should point out it's the Parkinson's disease that Freddie Roach has, and Rios is trying to kind of clean up his image a bit with all that. And he said, hey, I am who I am, and I'm just trying to do a better job of my public utterances.
And as you mentioned, a settling influence, his wife, Vicky. They got married 2 weeks before the Anthony Peterson fight. She's a therapist who works with troubled youths in Ventura County.
And he joked, he said, she practices on me.
Exactly.
Yeah, Cameron Duncan, who is one of the fine managers in boxing, they are just all, he and Garcia working on keeping him in tow. Now, this round has been a good round for Miguel Acosta. He's boxed well, he's landed punches, and he has gotten himself back on track.
We approach 45 seconds remaining, round 7. Yeah, Acosta, who was down in the last round, hadn't been down since 07 when he went down twice against Angie Zajaho, but he came back to win that by a split decision.
Yeah, and that's a really good point to make. Twice he was down in that fight and still won it. So we talk about the toughness of these fighters. Both of them are mentally and physically strong.
This is just a great matchup. This tremendous give and take. Back and forth action, ebb and flow. And you just can't tell who's going to come out on top at this point. Impossible. Felix De Jesus, our translator.
That was a better round. That was a better round. You see? That's what you have to do. You have to hold on. You see? That's your job. You can throw when you can. If he has enough power, you tie him up. Just breathe deep now. We're back in this.
Say that easy, dude. Come on.
You're getting tired. You're getting
tired, dude. So he gets fucking stronger and stronger, right? He's just finding to box you way to a decision, but that's not gonna happen if you stay on him and throw 3-punch combinations. All right? Let's go. 3-punch combinations, stay on him, throw a lot of punches.
Very intense in that Brandon Rios corner with Robert Garcia at the helm. Miguel Acosta comes out with Brandon Rios for round 8, scheduled for 12. WBA lightweight championship, and what a division this has become. A lot of talent. And you're seeing two of them right here.
And remember early in this fight when Acosta was able to stun Rios and push him back and hurt him. While Acosta has landed good punches since then, we haven't seen that again.
Joe Cortez warning Acosta about charging in with the head.
The Acosta jab has been a little bit underused in the last few rounds.
And that a key weapon against a guy like Rios.
And Rios has subtly started to do a better job of defending. He's keeping his hands up better, and he's not getting hit with as many clean shots by Acosta.
And you'd better keep your hands up against the blurring hand speed of Acosta. And this is exactly, Al, what Brandon Rios said he was planning to do. Try to wear Acosta down and slow him down, and let's see if it takes effect in the later rounds.
Which is ironic, because Acosta himself thought that the later rounds were going to be his. He said, I'm going to take him there, and then I'm going to just start pummeling him. So we'll see.
Yep, I'm going to wear him down. So both had similar strategies, but it's been fun from a fan standpoint getting there.
Oh, yeah. Both men committing more to body work in this round as well.
Past the halfway point of round 8.
How much will the judges like the aggression of Rios or the counterpunching of Acosta? That's going to determine a lot about how this fight is scored.
Rios kind of stopped coming forward in round 4, but now he's resumed pressing the attack, and he's been able to push Acosta along the ropes.
See, and I think the last 2 rounds for Acosta have been much better. There's Rios working well on the inside.
Good left hand there by Acosta, but it doesn't phase. Rios just keeps banging away, and a good exchange here, and down goes Acosta. Left hand was at the end of that, and Acosta's down for the second time in the fight. Miguel Acosta tasting the canvas again. So another huge round for Brandon Rios. 25 seconds left. I mean, it didn't seem like Acosta was really hurt there, just a little stunned.
Yeah, and then maybe fatigued too. You know, his legs haven't been as steady in the last couple of rounds.
Right uppercut by Acosta. Rios continues to smother and canvas the Venezuelan. Wow. Acosta down again.
Let me get some water.
The second trip to the canvas, good left hook by Rios. And that was what started things. And then a short left hook sent Acosta down. So as we said early, getting that left hand in for Rios is the key in this fight. That's where his power emanates from. There was a first left, a good double left hook.
Let's see if the feet get tangled up too here. Nope, they did not. It was a clean punch.
Yeah, it was.
You got to keep swinging. You got to hold him when you feel his power. You hold him and box him, box him.
So Acosta down 45 seconds into the sixth from a left hook followed by a jab. Acosta down with 45 seconds left in round 8. Another left hand by Rios there.
And a big thing in that last round will be, I thought Acosta was winning the round when he got knocked down. The question is, will people make it a 10-9 or a 10-8 round for Rios?
So we could have some interesting scoring.
Yes. The amount of power punches landed, you see the edge to Rios at this point.
That was a slip, by the way.
Yep, and Acosta, of course, would have the edge in jabs in this fight, no doubt.
So round 9 scheduled for 12 for the WBA Lightweight Championship. Tremendous action fight. Acosta on the canvas twice. He had only been down 2 times previously in a 28-3-2 record.
Good body work by Rios. You know, I think the headlines in this fight are two. One, the chin of Brandon Rios. He was able to take the big power punches of Acosta and not go down. And then the second part of it, I think, is the fact that Rios has had a better defense in the last 3 or 4 rounds. She's keeping his hands up better. Acosta's not pot-shotting him as much.
And in case you're wondering, Rios down 2 times in his career, early in his career on body shots against a fellow named Joel Ortega. That was back in 06. And, of course, Rios came back to win. He's undefeated.
Acosta's punches now are arm punches. Not as much power in them as normal. Look at that. There are not strong punches.
Lazy punches all of a sudden by Acosta. He's being worn out by Rios. He's tried his best. He's throwing in volume, but steam is off those punches.
And he's laying against the ropes. Oh, nice hook, though, by Acosta.
You're right. Acosta looks to be in a little bit of trouble here. There's blood under the right eye.
Oh, he's coming back, though, but his punches are not having an effect on Rios.
But Rios is just all over him. And he lets a right hand go, does Acosta. Boy, he is game. A lot of courage in that man.
He needs to get off those ropes, and yet Acosta's landing counter punches. What a fun round of boxing.
No let up here. Non-stop action. They're standing here in Las Vegas. Fans loving it. 30 seconds to go in round 9. Talk about heart. Acosta hanging tough. Rios keeps banging away. Acosta, the recipient of a lot of punishment here. Right uppercut by Acosta with blood dripping down the right side of his face. Oh, big right hand to the head by Rios just before the bell.
Oh, man.
Acosta. Oh, what action. And the fans eating it up here at the Palms. Hey, Saturday, March 5th is another Strikeforce Spectacular as Rafael Feijão makes the first defense of his light heavyweight crown against MMA superstar Dangerous Dan Henderson.
And nobody's been able to hang on to that 205-pound championship very long. Feijão with his first defense. Will Dan Henderson, a legendary MMA fighter, be able to continue the streak of those champions losing? Acosta, it's not that he's not, or Acosta, it's not that he's not landing punches, he is, but they are not stopping Rios from his assault. And when they get in the corner, both men are wailing away. And it might not be the best posture for Acosta to be there. He's still counter-punching off those ropes, but Rios, excuse me, is doing work to both the body and the head. I mean, it's just a great fight.
It's a fan favorite. A lot of people felt that, including Al Bernstein going in, predicting this would be a terrific fight, and it is just that. Round 10 for the WBA lightweight crowd. The champion in the white with the black trim, Miguel Acosta, 32, from Venezuela. 24-year-old Brandon Rios out of Oxnard, California, looking for his first title. He's dreamt about this since he first put on boxing gloves when he was 8 years old. He bulls his way in on the champion. Rios was in a little difficulty in the early going of this fight, then seemed to figure things out. But great back and forth action. He's had Acosta on the canvas twice, round 6 and round 8. Oh, right hand there by Acosta. Back comes Rios countering with some effective shots. With burying punches into the body of Acosta. Left hook by Acosta. Right hand, beautifully done by Brandon Rios. And he chopped down the train. Acosta's down for the 3rd time, and that may be it. That's it. That's it. Joe Cortez weighs it up. We've got a new WBA lightweight champion, and his name is Bam Bam Brandon Rios. The crowd celebrates, the Rios corner celebrates, and much emotion on the face of the new champion.
It's been an interesting odyssey in life for him, as well as in the ring. He feels like he's gotten his life straightened out, and boy, he answered every question you could have about Brandon Rios. He answered them all tonight. I mean, all of them.
And the crowd celebrates with Bam Bam Rios. 24-year-old Brandon Rios on top of the ropes and on top of the world. He's your new WBA lightweight champ, and a study in contrast with Miguel Acosta, who's just trying to figure it all out. What the heck happened?
And what a remarkable performance by Brandon Rios, given how well Acosta fought in those first 5 or 6 rounds. I mean, that makes this victory special for Rios. Acosta fought very well tonight. Here is where he got him again against the ropes. Acosta fought the last several rounds against the ropes. See him landing, Acosta, the hooks and things, but there's the right hand that really got him in trouble. And then Rios kept punching, and at that juncture, the corner of Acosta said, no, that we're not even going to let him try and get up. Rios is just relentless in his pressure. And, you know, we talk about his left hook. That was a pretty darn good right hand he threw. And I'll tell you what, that was a spectacular performance by Rios. And again, I'll say it, because of how well Acosta fought. Now, you see Acosta still landing punches there, but Rios' power is just too much. And what this fight proved, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that Brandon Rios has a superb chin. And with that kind of chin and this kind of style, he's going to be a tough man to beat. Again, against the ropes, Acosta landing, but getting nailed with good combinations. And it's combination punching there of Rios that is very special.
We have a new star in the lightweight division.
And it's a division that has lots of them already.
Rios hands Acosta his first loss since 2003, ending a 19-fight win streak. Acosta falls to 28-4-2. 3 of his 4 losses by knockout. A 9-month championship reign, with Acosta unsuccessful in his first title defense.
Now Nito Donaire giving some love to Brandon Rios. Donaire, who's got a camera on him, he's a big photographer. He loves to do that.
moonlighting as a ringside photographer tonight. All right, we're set for the official announcement. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 14 seconds in round number 10. He is the winner by way of knockout. He is still undefeated. He is the new WBA lightweight champion of the world, Brandon Bam Bam Rios.
Marcus, I love you. Never forget you. My wife, I love you, Big King.
It's like a scene out of Rocky. I love you, Vicky. Yo, Adrian. Rios remains unbeaten as he snatches the belt in his first world title attempt, improving to 27-0-1 with 19 knockouts. What a night for Brandon Rios, and he let out a piercing scream of joy. So, the thing to do now is look ahead for Brandon Rios. He said he'd love a shot at Humberto Soto, the WBC champ, or perhaps Juan Manuel Marquez, or go up to 140. He also mentioned Marco Antonio Barrera. And right now, let's get it into the ring, and our Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Brandon, congratulations to you after everything that you have been through in your life to now have a championship belt and to be a champion. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It means that if a kid like me, always in that trouble, almost had his career taken away, come back and do an awesome performance, become a world champion, anybody out there can do it. Dreams are possible, and just stick to your dreams.
How close did you come to quitting and giving up on yourself?
I never give up. I'm a warrior. I keep going and going. Even though Acosta was a tough fight, I keep going. He hit me with some good shots, body shots, but I kept going. I'm a warrior. I have to keep going for my fans and for my family, not only that, for my coach and everybody out there.
Let's talk about this fight. It was a great fight. It seemed as though you got a little behind in the early rounds, maybe the first 4 or 5 rounds, and then you caught your pace in the 6th round. What changed the complexion of this fight?
It's like Bob Evans said, I'm a late bloomer coming into the game. I'm a late bloomer starting off the rounds. As the round comes closer and closer, I get stronger. I just go back and listen to my corner. He kept telling me, do a fighter smart fight, keep going, keep close, don't let him get your distance, because when you do, he gets his power shots and he lands very good, and he's very powerful. So I just kept my game, kept pushing pressure, and I got him out of there.
You said he's powerful. Did you know you had this good a chin?
Actually, no. Now I can say I got a good chin now. You know, he caught me with some pretty good shots, and you know, the shots that really hurt, but you know, I got a good chin. I thank God for that.
All right, Brandon, let's take a look at the 6th round when you were able to knock Acosta down. Tell us what was going on.
Right there, I caught him with the body shot, like Robert kept telling me, body shot hook, body shot uppercuts, body shot uppercuts. So I just kept pushing my way with my jab.
Seemed like a fairly short shot there.
Yeah, you know, I got a pretty good jab when I use it. I hardly don't use it that much, but when I use it, it's pretty deadly.
Now we jump ahead to the 8th round, and you got him on the ropes. Is that where you wanted him?
I wanted him on the ropes. I had to get him inside because I let him fight outside. As you can see, he's very powerful and he hits hard. So, you know, I had to do my game plan and keep my will on him.
And now the end of the fight. Did you realize here in the 10th round that this was the beginning of the end?
Now, you know, I didn't think this round I thought a couple more rounds it probably would have been, but, you know, I kept getting them, kept counting those 1-2 body shots like I did right there. 1-2 shots straight down the middle, and I got him out of there.
Well, you have that belt on, and everybody's going to come after you. Do you know what you will do next?
You know what? Whatever Bob Arum put in my way. Anybody at the 135 division, I'm ready for anybody, any champion. Whatever Bob Arum decides, my manager, Cameron Duncan, Robert, I'm ready for anybody. Bring them on.
Mr. Arum, what's your thought?
Well, Jimmy, a star was born tonight. Miguel Acosta is standing there, was a hell of a champion. This young man is going to be a superstar.
Does this deserve a rematch?
Well, that's up to, we'll have to talk it over. I think maybe down the road, why not? But right now, I think we're looking for some of the bigger names in boxing to put Brandon with.
Bob, thank you. Congratulations, Brandon. Let us bring in Miguel. Miguel, are you okay? And Felix De Jesus will interpret for us.
¿Cómo te sientes, Miguel, después de la pelea?
Bueno, de verdad que un poco triste, ¿verdad? No pensé que iba a perder y me preparé muy bien para enfrentarme con Brandon Rios. Ya sabía que...
He's more sad than hurt, and, you know, he prepared himself for Brandon Rios, but the guy has power.
At what point do you feel you lost control of this fight? You seem to be going very well through the first 5 rounds.
La pelea iba bien. ¿Cuándo tú crees que perdiste el control de la pelea?
Sí, mira, después que recibí un golpe, verdad que cuando me tumbó, de verdad que no pude después sacarme ese golpe y de verdad que estaba mareado durante la primera caída. No me pude sacar el golpe y bueno, recibí demasiado golpe.
He was saying that after the first knockdown, he felt really dizzy and he really couldn't recuperate after that one.
Miguel, it was a great fight. Thank you. All right, Steve, back to you.
Thank you very much, Jim. What a night, what a victory, a KO win in round 10 for Brandon Rios. Acosta looking impressive in defeat.
You see, while Acosta was able to jab a little better, although he didn't land at a great rate, the power punching of Rios was much more effective, and that big edge in power punching was really forged in the last 3 or 4 rounds of this fight.
And we'll take a look at how the scoring went for Acosta versus Rios. First, let's check the official judges' scorecards.
Yeah, Adelaide Bird, Dick Hawkins, C.J. Ross, unanimous in a 86-83 at the time of the stoppage. That's how they had the scoring. And that's interesting. It shows you what a close fight this was. The first 4 rounds, 2 of the 3 judges gave all 4 to Miguel Acosta. That's why with even 2 knockdowns, that was close.
And our panel of press row judges saw it this way.
A split decision at the time of the stoppage, with Rick Reno having Acosta ahead by 1 point. Now, I don't think that's out of line, by the way, because he put a lot of rounds in the bank, but of course the 2 knockdown rounds really helped Rios.
All, of course, at the time of the stoppage. Well, we asked you which format do you prefer for professional boxing tournaments. Here we go. Round robin, people wanted 58%, single elimination 42%, Al.
Well, you know what's interesting about that? The format of the Super 6 in some quarters is taking it on the chin, saying it takes a long time. Well, guess what? 58% of the fans say, you know, we kind of like it.
All right, as we wrap things up from ringside, wow, quite a night here. Not only here, but in Grand Island, Nebraska as well with DeMarco Sanchez.
Yeah, Antonio DeMarco getting his win and getting his, presumably, a shot at a world title. He will get a shot. But I think in all truth, it was not the kind of performance that Antonio DeMarco wanted against Rios Sanchez. Not a big puncher, maybe not really deserving of a number 2 ranking. I think DeMarco would have liked to have been more dominant, but he gets the win.
And perhaps an overused cliche, but a star is born here in Las Vegas.
Absolutely. And, you know, the reason a star was born is because the man he fought, Miguel Acosta, and we saw it in those first 5 rounds of that fight, is a terrific fighter. And for Brandon Rios to get through those big shots early in this fight and show us that he has a great chin and power, it was a special performance by him, and now spices up what is already a great division.
Great night of boxing. We hope you enjoyed our coverage. Don't forget, coming up next is an encore presentation of Inside NASCAR. And for more on all Showtime Sports telecasts, log on to our website, sports.show.com. Also, you can fan us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for real-time news and information. So a big night of boxing from 2 locales. We recap the action in Grand Island, Nebraska. Southpaw Antonio DeMarco able to climb back into title contention by beating Rios Sanchez. In a WBC lightweight title eliminator, DeMarco secured his 2nd shot.